Just adjust it so it's. went ahead and pulled, I might need to be a little closer. If you guys want to grab a seat, we're going to start our presentation. It is 6 o'clock now. All right. We pulled out the gavel because this is an official hearing, right? All righty. My name is Nicole Minton. I'm with Lockmuller Group, and we are part of the team to bring this project to you, helping Montgomery County and our NDOT partners bring this project to you. We've been working with Tom and Jake for a while now. We'll just say it's been a while as we've worked to get this project brought to you. And I know your Montgomery County leadership is very, very proud to bring this to the finish line, and we're happy to share the plans with you today so that you can see a little bit about what we've planned and give us feedback on what you're seeing tonight. We also understand that construction is going to be something that you're going to be very interested in hearing more about. You'll hear more of that in our presentation, but if you do have questions, we'll be back at the display areas after we get done with the hearing portion to take more questions. So if you hear something during the presentation, some of the images, if they're tough to see, they might be in your handout or one of these boards. We'll be happy to help you find those when the presentation's over. And same thing, if you have questions, we're happy to take those back at the presentation area, the display area, once we get done with the presentation. So because this is a formal hearing, when we get done with the presentation, there's going to be an opportunity for you to speak. And at that point, you'll have a couple of minutes to just tell us your thoughts on the project. If you want to share with us what a wonderful job we've done and how excited you are, we welcome you to do that. If you've not had a chance to sign up to speak, we have a sign-up sheet in the back. It's that very back table there. Please feel free to put your name there. And then once we get done, I'll gather that paper up and come up and introduce the first person who signed up to speak. When you come to the microphone, we ask that you say your name and you spell it so that we have that for our transcribing purposes, because every comment that's given tonight or written on one of the comment forms or emailed to us afterwards is becoming part of our environmental document. And that environmental document will hold all of the comments and the responses. So while tonight we won't be able to respond to your comments in person, we can answer your questions at the display areas, but we will not be responding to the comments that are given at the microphone. Those are done in collaboration with the team, and then those are a part of the environmental document. So you'll see your responses once the environmental document is complete, and we'll announce when that is done, and will be areas that we've had the documents for this evening available to you. So it's, I think, a 16-minute presentation. If you need to turn your chairs to have a more comfortable view, do that. But yeah, once we get done, we'll start the hearing portion. Thank you.
For your interest in the Nucor Road Intersection Improvement Project, including the overpass at US 136. This milestone marks the end of the environmental studies and preliminary design phase of this project. Throughout the project, we have gathered information to determine the best option for this. Thank you for your interest in the Nucor Road Intersection Improvement Project, including the overpass at US 136. This milestone marks the end of the environmental studies and preliminary design phase of this project. Throughout the project, we have gathered information to determine the best option for this important transportation improvement. This presentation will discuss the locations where the public can access project documents, the format of the hearing, a look at the project area, the Environmental Policy Act process, the existing conditions at the intersection, the purpose and need of the project, and the various remedies or alternatives considered. We will also review the proposed improvements, the project impacts, how traffic will be maintained during construction, and finally we'll look at the anticipated project schedule and the next steps for the project. During the presentation, we'll share ways to make a public comment. The handout and display materials will also be available on the Montgomery County website. A hearing notice was mailed to property owners in the project area. An announcement was posted to the county's website, and the legal notice was published in the Journal Review newspaper. All project materials are available for you to review, both in person and online. You can visit the Crawfordsville District Public Library or the Montgomery County Government Center to see printed project documents. You can also access these materials anytime online at montgomerycounty.in.gov. These resources give you access to the same information we'll discuss tonight. We began this evening with an open house where you could view displays and talk with project team members informally. We're now in the formal presentation portion, which is part of the official public record. After this, you'll have an opportunity to provide verbal comments for the record. Everything shared during that comment period will be transcribed, reviewed, and considered in the decision-making process. When the public comments are done, we'll return to an informal open house until 7:30 p.m. There are several ways to submit your comments. You can share them verbally tonight during the public comment period, or you can fill out a comment form and leave it with us tonight or mail it to our project team at Lockmuller Group. You can also email your comments directly. All feedback becomes part of the official record, is reviewed by the project team, and is considered during decision-making. Comments are due by August 29th. This map shows the project area. It includes the intersection of Nucor Road and US 136 and the nearby bridge over Walnut Fork Sugar Creek. The improvements span this area and include a realignment of Nucor Road, a new grade separated intersection, and replacement of the creek's bridge. This project follows the NEPA process, which is the National Environmental Policy Act. That means we look at potential environmental, social, and economic impacts before moving forward with construction. This ensures we are not only improving traffic and safety, but also being mindful of environmental resources, community impacts, and overall project benefits. For the purpose of comparison, here's some information on the existing conditions. US 136 consists of one 12-foot wide through lane in each direction. Additionally, there is a 14-foot wide right turn on both sides of the intersection with Nucor Road. The paved shoulder varies from 2 to 8 feet wide along the eastbound lane and is approximately 3 feet wide along the westbound lane. The existing speed limit along US 136 is 55 miles per hour. Nucor Road consists of one 12-foot wide through lane in each direction. The paved shoulder is 2 feet wide in both directions, and the existing speed limit along Nucor Road is 45 miles per hour. The existing US 136 and Nucor Road intersection consists of 4-way stop signs and a flashing beacon. The intersection was converted to a 4-way stop by NDOT in 2019. The existing features are not typical of a rural major collector roadway intersecting with a local road and are not found anywhere else along US 136. Approximately 80% of the traffic at the intersection is through traffic. The unanticipated stopping disrupts the flow of traffic and creates additional safety concerns. Existing drainage consists of cross culverts at the intersection, cross culverts along both Nucor Road and US 136, driveway culverts, and roadside ditches along Nucor Road and US 136. The existing bridge Walnut Fork Sugar Creek is a concrete, continuous slab, 3-span bridge built in 1974. According to a routine inspection report, the bridge was given a condition rating of 5 out of 9, which is considered fair condition. The deck shows cracking over the piers, detached concrete with exposed rusted rebar showing, and the north bank of the bridge is showing severe erosion. The need for the project is due to the steep nature of Nucor Road, or what we call the road's profile, as it approaches the intersection with US 136. The most severe of the vertical alignment concerns begins 700 feet north of US 136, where the profile of Nucor Road starts at a 43-foot descent, ending at the intersection. The existing grade of Nucor Road is 6% as it approaches US 136 from the south and 8 to 9% from the north. According to the Indiana Design Manual, the grade for the 100-foot approach to the intersection should be 3% or less if possible. Development south of US 136, including the Temper-Sealy development and Nucor Mill expansion, is anticipated to increase truck traffic. Trucks have a greater mass, which results in greater stopping distances and more difficulty traversing steep grades. The anticipated traffic increase and high volume of truck traffic result in safety concerns related to the existing steep grade of the Nucor Road. According to NDOT's crash analysis, 12 crashes occurred at the intersection between the study period of 2017 and 2020. As mentioned, another need for the project is due to the deteriorated structural condition of the existing bridge over Walnut Fork Sugar Creek. The purpose of this project is to level the road profile or vertical alignment, improve through traffic operations, and provide a structurally sufficient and hydraulically adequate bridge over Walnut Fork Sugar Creek. Several alternatives were considered. A no-build alternative would involve no improvements to the existing intersection or the existing bridge. As a result, the bridge would continue to deteriorate, and the existing vertical geometry and traffic flow issues at the intersection would remain unaddressed. While this alternative eliminates immediate cost and environmental impacts, it would not meet the purpose and need of the project. Therefore, this alternative was dismissed from further consideration. Using the existing alignment would involve reconstructing Nucor Road along its existing alignment and addressing the vertical grade, which would require closing the road throughout construction. Although this alternative would meet the project's purpose and need, closing Nucor Road would significantly impact the heavy truck traffic from nearby businesses. Additionally, there are no suitable detour routes that can accommodate heavy loads without upgrades, which would result in increased costs. Therefore, the alternative was dismissed from further consideration. A western alternative would involve shifting the intersection to the west. This alternative would meet the purpose and need. However, this alternative would involve additional residential relocations and greater impacts to ecological resources. Therefore, this alternative was dismissed from further consideration. After careful study of several options, the proposed alternative was identified as the best way to meet the project's purpose and need, or goals, while minimizing impacts to the surrounding area. In this layout, Nucor Road is shifted slightly to the east. This allows us to correct the steep roadway grades that currently approach the intersection and realign the road to meet modern safety standards. The proposed project will convert the existing four-way stop-controlled intersection into a grade-separated configuration. As part of this design, Nucor Road will be elevated to pass over US 136 with access provided via a new connector road. We're also improving safety by installing guardrail along both sides of Nucor Road and US 136. To manage traffic safely, stop signs will be placed at both ends of the ramp, one where it meets at US 136 and one where it meets Nucor Road. This design allows through traffic on both roads to continue moving without stopping, which is a big improvement over the current four-way stop. After careful study of several options, the proposed alternative was identified as the best way to meet the project's purpose and need, or goals, while minimizing impacts to the surrounding area. In this layout, Nucor Road is shifted slightly to the east. This allows us to correct the steep roadway grades that currently approach the intersection and realign the road to meet modern safety standards. The proposed project will convert the existing four-way stop-controlled intersection into a grade-separated configuration. As part of this design, Nucor Road will be elevated to pass over US 136 with access provided via a new connector road. We're also improving safety by installing guardrail along both sides of Nucor Road and US 136. To manage traffic safely, stop signs will be placed at both ends of the ramp, one where it meets at US 136 and one where it meets Nucor Road. This design allows through traffic on both roads to continue moving without stopping,
which is a big improvement over the current four-way stop.
Here's what the new road will look like. Nucor Road will have two 12-foot lanes, one in each direction, with 8-foot and 8-inch paved shoulders. US 136 will include two 12-foot travel lanes, a 12-foot center turn lane, and a painted median with variable width. It will also have 6-foot paved shoulders on both sides. Replacement of the bridge will be required at Nucor Road over Walnut Fork Sugar Creek due to the deteriorated condition of the existing bridge, the proposed height increase of Nucor Road, and the shift of Nucor Road to the east. The existing bridge will be removed. The new bridge will be constructed approximately 50 feet to the east of the existing bridge to match the Nucor Road horizontal alignment shift. The new bridge will be a continuous composite pre-stressed concrete 3-span bridge. The bridge will consist of two 12-foot through lanes, a 12-foot turn lane, and 8-foot 8-inch paved shoulders. The new bridge to carry Nucor Road over US 136 will be a continuous composite pre-stressed concrete single-span bridge. The bridge will consist of two 12-foot through lanes, a median of varying width, and 6 to 9 foot wide shoulders. Mechanically stabilized earth walls will be utilized to support the new bridge. The bridge minimum vertical clearance will be 17 feet and 2 inches. The total permanent stream impacts are anticipated to be just over 1,000 linear feet. The total temporary stream impacts are anticipated to be 99 linear feet. Not all of the streams are federally jurisdictional. The total wetland impacts are anticipated to be 0.02 acre. The project will convert 5.4 acres of farmland as defined by the Farmland Protection Policy Act. The project will impact a total of 13.23 acres of terrestrial habitat. The total tree clearing acreage for the project is anticipated to be 3.1 acres. Section 106 of the National Historic Preservation Act requires federal agencies to take into account the effect of federal undertakings on historic properties. On March 29, 2024, NDOT, acting on behalf of the Federal Highway, issued a finding of no historic properties affected for the project. A legal notice of Federal Highway's finding of no historic properties affected was published in the Journal Review on April 4, 2024, and offered the public the opportunity to submit comment. The public comment period closed 30 days later on May 4, 2024. No comments were received within the public comment period. To maintain access and safety, traffic will be completed in phases throughout the project. There will be a 60-day closure of US 136 at one point during construction, but access to local properties and driveways will be maintained. Clear signage and detour routes will be in place to help minimize disruptions during each construction phase. In Phase 1, construction will begin away from the main intersection. This includes work on the Nucor Road alignment to the east and the connector road that ties into the surrounding area. Crews will start grading, drainage, and foundation work to prepare for the future bridge. During this time, Nucor Road and US 136 will remain open. There may be some shoulder restrictions or temporary lane shifts, but through traffic will be maintained. In Phase 2, we begin work on the new bridge that will carry Nucor Road over US 136. Once the new alignment and connector road are in place, crews will begin setting bridge beams, constructing the elevated roadway, and shifting traffic patterns. This phase includes the planned 60-day closure of US 136 so crews can safely complete the bridge work directly over the highway. During this time, detours will be clearly marked and access to all properties will still be maintained. We understand closures can be inconvenient and will work to keep the public informed every step of the way. Phase 3 wraps up the project with final tie-ins, paving, and restoration work. Once the bridge and new roadway are complete, traffic will shift onto the new alignment. Crews will then remove the old roadway sections, finish grading, place permanent pavement markings, and complete landscaping or erosion control work. We'll also remove the temporary traffic control devices and detour signs. By the end of Phase 3, the intersection will be fully converted into a grade-separated crossing, improving safety and traffic flow for everyone. We anticipate completing the environmental process this year. The project letting is in July of 2026, and construction is anticipated to begin in early 2027 years to complete. Montgomery County proceeded with locally funded early acquisition. The acquisition and relocation program was conducted in accordance with the Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Policies Act of 1970. Relocation resources were made available to the residential relocatee without discrimination. No person displaced by this project was required to move from a displaced dwelling unless comparable replacement housing was available to that person. The project required the acquisition of 10.14 acres of new permanent right-of-way and 0.2 acres of temporary right-of-way and 2.4 acres of easement. One residential relocation occurred. Please submit comments via the methods on the handout. To receive a response in the environmental document, comments must be submitted by Friday, August 29th. All comments are given full consideration during the decision-making process. The project team will review and address the comments from the public, finalize the environmental document, and complete the design. The final approved environmental document will be posted at the project resource locations, including on the Montgomery County website. Please submit comments via the methods on the handout. To receive a response in the environmental document, comments must be submitted by Friday, August 29th, 2025. All comments are given full consideration during the decision-making process. The project team will review and address the comments from the public, finalize the document, and complete the design. The final approved environmental document will be posted at the project resource locations, including on the Montgomery County website. Thank you for attending tonight's public hearing and for your valuable input.
All right, we modulate the audio like that so that you stay awake. Now, it's a lot of information, and you can understand why we record it, because it's definitely a lot of details that we want to make sure that are included and that we make you aware of as part of the environmental process. There's lots of things that we need to share, and so thank you for your patience in listening to that, and we hope that you were able to learn something from it, and again, we'll have more time to answer questions back at the displays. Did we have anyone sign up to? No. Okay. Did anyone change their mind and decide that they would like to speak? No. Okay, please come on up. Just say your name.
Mark Truax, last name Truax, and I've lived about a half mile west of this intersection since 1985, and in fact, 6 acres plus of my farm ground was bought for this purpose. But anyway, since Nucor moved in, we've seen an evolution of the traffic control at that intersection. I started out with stop signs north and south. Evolved eventually to stoplights going both ways, and the current situation is 4-way stop with flashing lights. So there have been a number of accidents through the years. I don't know if any of those have resulted in fatalities, but the point that I'm trying to get to is the intersection of the on-ramp and the north-south Nucor Road should be revisited. Looking back over time, it took a long time to get the Nucor 136 intersection right, and I'd like to see, with the construction, that we not go through the same process again of changing things along the way. Now, my understanding is the speed limit for trucks will be 50 or 55 miles an hour going north and south, and especially during rush hour times, there's going to be workers going to Sealy and Nucor and whatever industries are down there, and there may be a lineup of people on that on-ramp trying to get on 136. And currently, there's not an acceleration lane going south, which, you know, I can understand somebody sitting at that light looking at the traffic behind them feeling pressure to pull out in front of a truck going 55 miles an hour. So what I would propose would be 4 lanes at that intersection, a through lane south, a through lane north, a deceleration merge lane going north, a deceleration merge lane going south. I just hate to see injuries, fatalities, and a slow evolution of this intersection when we could get it right the first time. Yep. Okay, that's the end of my comment.
All right. Well, we thank you all for coming. Please be sure to put your comments and your thoughts on your comment sheet and leave it here with us tonight. Or if you want to take a little more time to think about it, fill it out and mail it to us, or you can email us as well. That information should all be in your handout. Again, we appreciate you for coming. We'll be back at the display areas to take any questions. Thank you.